matchbook from Brody's?
Oh. You. You almost scared the life out of me.
Well, I'm sorry. Hi. It looked like that you were talking to somebody.
Antonio, I know. When I start asking the refrigerator for advice, you can just put me away, okay?
Okay, you have it. You miss him?
Yeah, he and Andy call 3 times a week. I really have nothing to complain about.
So, are you done here?
I guess. I mean, I've cleaned every inch of this place at least a half a dozen times since the wedding.
Yeah? Well, I have the perfect remedy for the empty nest blues.
Really?
Yeah. Let me take you to Club Indigo. I mean, Rachel, she's been asking me to bring you to the club, and they're screening some hot acts tonight for the music festival. So how about it?
I like nothing more than to just share in your daughter's success. But I won't step foot in RJ's club. My child almost went back to prison because of your brother.
Yeah, and because of me.
No, it was different. You were doing your job. RJ, he had another motive. He actually deliberately twisted the truth so that he could frame Antonio and save himself.
All right, look, I won't try to defend my brother, and I'm not going to ask you to excuse him. I mean, hey, you don't even have to speak to the guy. Just come and listen to some great music with me, okay? I want to be able to look into your eyes when they play our song.
We don't have a song.
Well, I'm sure we will by the end of the evening.
Oh.
Come on, please. I want you to be with me. And I promise Rachel.
You know what? Why should I deprive myself of seeing Rachel just because I'm mad at RJ? Hmm?
Cool.
I'm also very curious about this song of ours.
A cosmopolitan. Fresh lime juice, citron vodka, cranberry juice, and Cointreau.
Well, you do know your stuff, Miss Mercury. And I need an expert bartender as of yesterday. Now, I've checked your references, and you come very highly recommended. But I see here on your application that you've had a...
I was arrested a few years ago. The charges were ultimately dropped. That has nothing to do with my trustworthiness with money or my skills as a mixologist.
A few years ago, you say?
Yes, I wasn't quite myself then.
I understand. Ah, partner. Meet our new bartender.
Mixologist.
Mixologist. Chikara Principal, Wendy Mercury.
Don't I have a say in the matter?
If I was thinking of booking a new act for the club, yes, but I've been hiring bartenders without your input for quite a while.
Mixologist.
Whatever. Nevertheless, the atmosphere of this club directly affects the acts we book here.
Oh, you bet. I know atmosphere. You know the music business. That's why we inked this deal, right?
Excuse me. I didn't realize I had to answer to 2 bosses. I've learned to accept myself. I don't need this. Thank you.
Honey, I'm here. I know you didn't want to tell me what's going on over the phone, but I had 3 motorcycle cops give me an escort over. We went through 3 red lights, but whatever it is, we can handle it together. So I'm here, I'm ready. What'd Larry Wallach say is wrong with you?
Perimenopause.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
One life to live.
There is a God.
Bo.
Oh, I was so worried about you. I didn't want you to know anything about it because I didn't want you worried about me, worried about you. But at least now we know what's making you feel so crummy, right? What a relief, you know? I told myself I'm ready for anything. And now I find out it's nothing?
Nothing?
Yeah, what? Menopause, you know? I'm not going to lose you.
Yes, you are.
Honey?
Yes, you are. This person, what you're seeing, this person, she's gone. She's history.
What are you talking about?
They call it the change of life, Bo, because you change.
Uh-huh.
Who's that?
That's you, honey.
No. That's my mother.
Oh, come on. You're nothing like Selma.
Oh, but I will be, God help you.
No, what are we dealing with here? A couple of mood swings, some hot flashes, maybe some minor physical adjustments?
Yeah, nothing that a few hormones can't cure.
Exactly. You see? You're still my girl.
Oh, I'm not going to be anybody's girl. Girls are on the upslope. I have peaked. It's downhill all the way.
Says who?
Future is here now, Bo. I'm talking supportos and sensible shoes, false teeth, collagen leaching from my skin. I'm gonna be a rhinoceros.
A sexy rhinoceros.
Men age gracefully. Women just get old. And if we're lucky, we get eccentric and old.
But honey, look, hey, you're a tomato, you know? So you'll be an eccentric tomato.
Bo, there are 3 different kinds of tomatoes. Baby tomatoes, ripe tomatoes, and old shriveled tomatoes. My skin's gonna crack. My seeds will dry up.
All I can say is a tomato is a tomato is a tomato, you know? And you, honey, you are definitely a tomato. Menopause or no menopause.
Can you really be that enlightened? Or are you just saying all this stuff so I won't jump out the window? Now, there's an idea. You know, just put a quick end to it all instead of the slow fade. You know? Going, gone. Thanks for covering the bar.
Well, I could learn to love it. So, how was it?
Nothing left but a charred, waterlogged husk.
I'm sorry.
The fire inspector's pretty sure that somebody tampered with the boiler.
Arson?
Mm-hmm. And the insurance adjuster says that he won't pay 1 red cent until they investigate.
So does that mean you won't be able to rebuild right away?
What does it matter? I mean, I'm broke until the insurance money pays me, and then Daddy's inheritance is tied up in the schools for the deaf that we agreed to open in New Orleans and Baltimore. Where's Max?
Oh, he just went to the bank.
Try not to let him see how upset I am. It worries him.
It worries me.
Oh, you're sweet. I'm glad I have you for my brother.
And needless to say, I would be more than willing to give you the money if you so decide to rebuild. As soon as Guy's estate is cleared up, which should be a couple of months, a year at the outside. Please, please let me do this for you.
Oh, Anne, that is really generous, but I don't know. Maybe this was all some kind of sign.
Of?
I built up such a head of steam, you know, but the whole time I felt like I was holding this project together single-handedly. It took me so much time and effort to get community support, and now the momentum is just gone. Oh, you know what it is? I'm not very good at this delayed gratification stuff. That's what my mother superior always used to say to me.
Now, come on. Maybe the insurance money will come through and you'll be able to start rebuilding right away.
Or maybe I'll be sitting here watching that building rot away for the next year as a symbol of my failure.
I just want to comfort you the way that you comforted me when I first came here after my mother died.
That wasn't that much help.
Oh, more than you realize. Ah, a customer.
Hello.
What can we get for you?
Seltzer.
All right.
But I came to see Max.
Oh. What's leftover, girl?
Listen, I'm never going to forget how kind you were to me when I had to confess I'd run Patrick and Bell.
You see, there's another one. Maggie took care of me as well.
Now we have to help her.
Absolutely.
Just name it. What can we do?
We are yours to command.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was my ego that made me think I had to do this by myself, but I guess I'm not alone.
Not by a long shot.
And beware, there's more of us where we came from. That's just what we need around here. A little more attitude.
What'd I tell you?
Don't mind me and RJ. We try to keep each other sharp.
So, Wendy's in?
Hey, it's your decision, and the good one. And consider RJ your boss, unless you have a problem with that.
I know you might find this a little retro, but I work better under men than women. Most women.
I'm not most women.
And neither am I.
We'll get along just fine.
Well, what acts do you book in here?
You know, a little of this, a little of that. Mainly jazz.
Indigo will be a showcase for the artist on my Blue Jay label.
Your Blue Jay music?
We're Blue Jay music.
I love all the groups on your label. Class all the way.
Well, it takes one to know one.
Sometimes. Welcome to Club Indigo. Can you start right away? Like tonight?
If we can cancel a date.
You do that. Gloria, we have a new full-time bartender.
Mixologist.
Mixologist. Gloria, Wendy, Gloria.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm out of here.
And if you'll excuse me, I have to go cancel that ad and the number's in the office.
Hey, look, but don't touch.
You're worried I'll be competition for you.
It's just good policy. Work is work, and play is play.
And is that a rule that you live by?
RJ's my business partner.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him a hard time about hiring you because he needs to learn how to share his turf.
My mistake?
In any creative situation, there'll be a few sparks.
I saw the sparks. I wonder, are there any embers still in that fireplace?
I've been burned. A rapper I was handling, it got messy. So now I don't mix business with pleasure. I got Blue Jay out of it, so I don't consider it a total loss. But now Blue Jay's my life.
What do you do for fun?
I work. No time for much else, and that's fine by me. Anything else you want to know?
Look, I can mind my own business, but it's so much more interesting not to.
You said you had a date to cancel. The employee phone is over there.
Thanks.
Getting to know our new mixologist?
Well, yeah, it's more like she's getting to know me.
Is that right?
I like her. Shoots from the hip and says what she thinks.
You don't get it, do you?
Well, thanks to you two, I'm beginning to think it was more of a test of faith, you know? So that I'd realize how many people were behind my project. And me. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm inspired. I'm going to go over to this table and try and get through this mountain of paperwork from the insurance company. That is, if you can handle the bar for another hour, maybe?
Oh, I think I could probably manage. Give me an excuse to juggle the lemons.
Good. Can I help?
Juggle?
Yeah, not until I take a few classes from Maggie's school, of course.
Have fun.
But I will clean some glasses.
Surely a beautiful girl like you has something else to do on a summer's evening.
No. This is actually very therapeutic.
Really? Then, let me.
Oh, that's okay. I think this might be a perfect opportunity to make you a little beholden to me.
I would probably crawl across 1,000 miles of broken glass for you. As long as you didn't have dishpan hands.
Wait until you hear the favor. I have to ask you, it's big.
My curiosity grows.
Rumor has it that you are a soccer champion.
Define champion.
Rooftop game, you and Patrick, Antonio's bachelor party.
Yes, I would have to say on that particular evening I was somewhat of a soccer god, if only in my clouded little mind.
Well, some of the Angel Square kids I'm working with to complete my community service sentence, they are desperately wanting a local league to compete in this fall.
The picture becomes clearer.
They have a lot of enthusiasm. They really do, but they have no discipline.
So, you want a...
Coach, a mentor, a soccer god.
And you want me to impart the love of the sport to a dozen or so little hellions, and in return, I will have your eternal gratitude?
Yeah, that about covers it.
Haven't we come a long way, Miss Kelly Kramer?
Would you like me to go out and search for the Fountain of Youth?
You do that for me?
Yeah, honey, I could use a swig out of that thing myself, you know. We're on this slippery slope together.
I'm way ahead of you.
Are you going to be competitive about this, too?
Don't worry, as I start losing my juices, I'll become far more docile and obedient.
Not a chance.
I did this to myself.
Age is an option?
I went at life full tilt. I just used myself up too fast. This shouldn't have happened for another 10 years, at least.
So what you're saying is if you build up all that momentum going up the hill, then think how you're going to come screaming down the other side.
Sure, hell-bent on senility.
You're going to be as sharp as a tack, honey. I can see you right now. All dressed in pink, about 70 years old, coming towards me, probably on rollerblades. That big smile makes my heart skip a beat.
You'll have a pacemaker by then, don't worry.
Wind just blowing through your hair.
Gray hair.
Get those little heart-shaped sunglasses on.
Bo.
Hmm?
I don't want to go through this door.
Honey, we're going to be going through this door together. You know, I'm going to probably be waving goodbye to my teeth.
Oh, you'll hang on to middle age for another 30 years.
There's a depressing thought.
Yeah. This whole thing sucks.
Yeah, well, see, that's something you can do without teeth. I'm sure we can come up with all kinds of creative ideas about how to deal with that situation.
You can joke about it now.
Well, we always find a way to laugh about things, you know, so why not this, too?
I dragged you into this, and I'm sorry. Just like I did with the Stairmaster and that pitiful diet, a lot of good that did.
Honey, just because guys don't have a word for what happens to us, that doesn't mean we get to skip all of this.
You'll always be the same boat of me. Teeth or no teeth.
And you'll always be the Nora that I married. The one that I love even more right this minute.
No, I won't.
Don't interrupt me, okay? Picture this. We're about 70 years old, and we're strolling through the park.
On rollerblades?
And, yeah, on rollerblades. And you point out something to me. Something I probably would have missed if you weren't there to point it out to me, because you know me so well. And then I say something funny, you know, just to make you smile, you know, just to put my pacemaker to the test. And then that smile, it just goes right up to your eyes. And then I look at them. And then I look at your lips and I say to myself, oh, what a ripe, delicious tomato. And then you see, nature can play hell with our outsides, but see, that's not what's really important. So come on. Give us a smile. Come on.
You're going to handle all of this a lot better than I am.
You think I can handle anything without you?
You do fine.
I didn't. Not for a long time.
Bo,
Hmm?
I want your baby. Damn those dried up tomatoes.
You know, honey, I always think of Rachel as being part mine.
First Drew blows out of town, and then I dry up on you.
We weren't even sure that we wanted a baby when we thought you were pregnant, you know? Hey, come on. We'll just spoil Rachel's kids. No, don't, honey. Come on.
We're gonna have to buy tissues by the gross.
Maybe I'll just get you some of those Navy signal flags, you know? You can run up a storm warning when you feel one coming on. Okay?
I don't know why they call them mood swings. I just feel psychotic. Oh, this sucks.
How long did Larry say that this lasts, this perimenopause thing?
Oh, God only knows. He said some women go through it in months, and it's been months already, obviously.
What's the outside limit?
Years.
Years?
Years. I know. If you leave now, you just might make it.
Are you kidding me? I'm a Vietnam vet.
Why don't you men have uncontrollable hormones?
We do. Between the ages of 14 and 21. Honey, hey, you should have seen me. I was deranged.
You saying I'm deranged?
Well, I still love you.
You're so sweet. Oh, you're shackled to a deranged, hormonally challenged waterfall. I don't know how you stand me. I can't stand myself. I need another tissue. These are...
Oh, my God. She went to see Dr. Wall. It's bad. Mom? Mom?
It's just...
There's no need to panic. Rachel, when the floodwaters reach the door, just start swimming for an exit. Hey.
Good evening. Good evening.
Listen, Jakara, this is the information I promised you. Hello, brother.
I see you brought a date.
Yes.
Rachel's been wanting me to come down.
Well, you're always welcome. Let me show you to a table.
Fine. Thank you.
Have everything you need?
I could use some of that.
Well, you can take a number, get in the back of the line, and hope for the best. RJ's brother, Landview's district attorney.
Well, I see you're not all work and no play.
I didn't say I was on that particular line.
I think I just put my finger on your pulse, and it's thumping quite heavily.
Wendy, a bottle of our best bubbly for table 3, please. The cooler's right around there. And on the house, not to worry, Jakara, it won't cut into the profits. I'll spring for it myself.
Our friendly mixologist seems ready to hit on every good-looking hunk that walks in here. Now she's after your brother.
Is that right? Well, this could be a very interesting night.
Why?
Wendy happens to be a man.
No, she's not.
Look again.
Good evening. This is on the house.
Well, thank you.
She's good. He? Ooh, Hank, baby, watch out.
Now, I won't tell if you won't.
I wouldn't dream of it.
I can't figure you out. I don't know if it's what you say or how you say it, but you put up this sophisticated wall, and I can't get past it.
I hadn't realized.
Makes me feel like a hayseed in comparison.
Am I doing it now?
It was worse when you first came to town.
Well, I felt I had so much to prove. Pressure's off considerably, though, since I discovered I am not the flesh and blood of Guy Armitage.
Well, I am glad you are flesh and blood of Maggie.
My twin. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No. Just Aunt Dorian and some cousins. One of whom hates me right now. I caused the accident that killed her baby. And almost killed her. People say it's going to get easier, but it hasn't.
Well, I'm sure they mean well, but perhaps they haven't been through anything so terrible themselves.
Yeah. Like you and Guy Armitage.
Yes. I suppose there were 3 explosions. When I learned he wasn't my father, when he learned he wasn't my father, and when the yacht blew up.
I guess a lot has happened since that first night at the palace.
Have you heard from Drew since he went out of town?
No. We ended it.
You did? Oh.
So, how about that soccer thing?
Well, first, a true aficionado refers to the sport as football, not to be confused in any way, shape, or form with the cruder, slower American version.
You're doing it again.
The wall thing.
Yeah. You know what? I think that those kids are going to be as good for you as they've been for me. They don't let you get away with anymore.
I'm the DM. Okay. You say where and when. You have yourself a coach.
I just drove by the place. Quite a mess, huh? Somebody did a thorough job on it. And they're sure that it wasn't an accident. Mm-hmm. Max was ready to go over and strangle Asa by the throat. Asa didn't do it. According to Asa. I believe him. Well, Renee, don't you kind of have to? You love the guy. He can't be a monster.
Yes, he can be. Often is, but not this time. Maggie, did he look you straight in the eye and deny any responsibility?
Yes, he sat right over there and said that he was a businessman, not a gangster. That there were plenty of legal ways to steamroll people.
Well, then, trust me. He told you the truth. Because when Asa is guilty, he avoids his victims. I know, it's not easy for you to accept that, is it?
Renee, you saw him. He went on and on about that warehouse.
Absolutely, yes. And to be honest, the minute that I heard that that fire was suspicious, he leapt to mind. And so I confronted him about it. Maggie, Asa is devastated about Jessica.
Why? Because he's responsible?
No, I swear to you that if he had wanted that fire set, he would have been cool and controlled to avoid looking guilty. He is thrashing around like a hippo in quicksand.
What I'm concerned about right now is Max. He's taking this really hard.
Of course he is. He came close to losing you. It scared the living daylights out of him.
He wants someone to blame.
Yes. Max and Asa are the kind of men who go a little crazy when the women that they love are threatened. Don't you see? Jessica is Asa's pride and joy, just as you are Max's heart and soul.
Christian, Grandpa did not do it. Honestly, if you would have seen him in the hospital, he was ready to wring somebody's neck.
Yeah, like maybe the guy he paid to set the fire because the idiot didn't know that we were in there with Maggie.
Christian, please, you have to believe me. He is innocent this time.
Jesse, Asa Buchanan wasn't innocent 10 minutes after he was born.
So, what's in the back?
Oh, somebody told me about this old-fashioned candy store, you know, where they Well, they make these by hand, so I thought you'd like it.
Oh, they're beautiful. Thank you. Caramel, it's my favorite. Try it.
I know they say that chocolate makes you heal faster. You know, there was a moment there when we were getting out of the warehouse when I thought that you weren't gonna make it. Just, I've never been so scared in my life.
I'm sorry.
So, you think you'll be strong enough for a party next week, huh?
What party?
Well, some friends of mine I want you to meet.
Your college friends?
Yeah, I told them all about you. I mean, they want to meet you. So what do you think, huh? Saturday night? No, you can't go? Look, if you can't go, then fine, I'll cancel. Because I just want to be with you from now on.
Okay, that settles it.
What?
My mom invited me to go to Italy with her to see Joey, but I'd much rather stay with you and go to the party.
No way.
No?
You want a glass of water, honey?
Yeah, I think that would help, thank you. Oh, sweetie, you look so scared.
Is this serious or not?
Perimenopause. That's Larry's diagnosis. Sort of a prologue to the last act, you know. Better start researching those retirement communities, honey. You don't want a deranged old lady disrupting your young life. My baby. My one and only.
Perimenopause.
I know. It's a horrible sounding name. Sounds like a lounge act, doesn't it? A bad lounge act. The leader presents Perry Menopause. Thank you. Star Wars.
This is good news.
Well, it's not anything really to shout up and down about, no.
Well, no, I mean, it's not a disease. You know, you're not going to die.
Yeah? Yes, I will.
Not anytime soon, Mom.
Probably not soon enough, you're right. But...
Well, I mean, it's just a normal part of your life. It's especially for someone like you, your age and everything.
My age? Please. I'm barely out of my 20s, sort of. And it's not normal. It's hideous.
Look, I don't mean to be insensitive. I guess it's just a part of life, Mom.
It's a lousy part of life. Just you wait. There's no reason why you should be as miserable as I am. I'm sorry. I'm behaving badly. I'm sorry. I owe both of you an apology.
Oh, honey, you're under a lot of stress.
No. Stress, that was Larry's first diagnosis, and he was wrong. He was wrong. I mean, that's it. He's wrong. He's wrong about these stupid, dumb tests are all wrong. I don't even believe me. I can't even believe I've been sitting here getting all upset. This is stupid. I know my body better than anybody. Well, almost anybody I do. I know my body. I mean, look at me. Look at me. I still have good skin tone, no gray hair. I'm in good shape. Ah, I'm a spring chicken. Yeah.
Timber to ABC. You would turn down a chance to go to Italy and see some of the greatest art in the world just to come with me and meet some of my friends at a party?
Yeah, I'd miss you.
Well, why would I miss you too?
I don't know, it just seems like we're finally getting somewhere. But I'm not exactly sure where.
Come here. Sit. Jess, go to Italy, please, for me, okay? And take as many pictures as you can. And when you get back, we'll share it all. And everything else. Please take me to Italy behind your eyes. And whenever you see something beautiful, I'll be there. But let me tell you something. Not even the Piet ever be as beautiful as you.
So is this our song?
Well, when we hear it, you won't have to ask. This is some great champagne.
RJ can be generous.
Yeah, and so can you.
Well, for your sake, I'm glad I can think of something nice to say about him.
Come on. With RJ, that bad attitude is mostly just this protective suit of armor.
Antonio is exactly the same. And today, Andrew walked into the diner with a young boy, Eli. He has no father, his mother died of AIDS, and he's HIV himself.
Wow, sounds like somebody stacked the deck on the poor kid.
His arm is so thick you couldn't even get through it with a machete. And Andrew's trying to find him a stable home.
Well, that's not going to be easy.
No, not with the attitude he has. He acts so tough. He's angry and aggressive, and he's got a fresh mouth on him. But if you think of a family who could handle a situation like that, Andrew would really appreciate letting him know.
No problem, you got it. But in the meantime, tell me, how am I going to get your mind off of this kid who reminds you of an older kid who's more than 3,000 miles away? Wow. Hey, could this be our song?
Like you said, when we hear it, you won't have to ask.
All right. Then we'll just sit here and we'll listen to some great music. And we'll drink some fine champagne, hold hands. Wow. I know this perfume. What is this perfume?
Ecstasy.
I mean, these tests were wrong. These symptoms could be completely something else. Cancer, for instance.
You'd rather have cancer than be menopausal?
Or hypoglycemia. That's it. I have low blood sugar. Oh, well, I just have to start eating a lot of small meals during the day, and problem solved.
You do that already, honey.
I gotta do it more.
Why do you have a problem with menopause? Why aren't you glad that you're not sick?
You know, hypoglycemia is a metabolic imbalance. Sure cure for that? Eating. Eating small food. I'm going to go and eat something right now. Not another word out of you, Buchanan, or they'll be all hell to pay.
I'm gonna need help with this one.
Oh, I'll do anything